Hello everyone. In previous lecture we saw about the factors affecting silting, that was catchment area, slope of country, climatic condition and nature of surface soil. In this lecture we are going to see about the methods to control silting. So there are two methods, that is pre-constructing methods and post-constructing methods. So we are also going to see their measures, and after that we will see about the different types of control levels in dam, and lastly we will see about the fixing of these control levels. So let us see methods to control silting. First is pre-constructing methods. So these methods are adopted before and during the construction of project. So they are called as pre-constructing methods. And these pre-constructing methods includes the selection of dam sites, then constructing the dam in stages, constructing check dams, also providing vegetation screens, and lastly proper reservoir design causing silt water to escape. Now we will see one by one in detail. First is selection of dam site. So it should be such that the catchment area has been less erodible portion. While selecting the dam site, the silting can be reduced by choosing the reservoir site in such a way as to exclude the runoff from easily erodible catchment. As silting reduces, it increases the capacity of reservoir. Then next method in this next step, that is construction of the dam in stages. So construction should be done, it should be made in stages, that is first height of the dam should be kept low such that water storing capacity is less than the annual runoff, and when the floods are cleared its height should be increased. So this is only given in the second point. Let us see. In this, the dam should be built lower and raised subsequently when some of its capacity gets silted up. Therefore, the life of the reservoir can be prolonged by constructing the dam in stages. Again, next point is of vegetation screen. So providing vegetation, in this the vegetation growth is prompted in the catchment area and at the entrance of the reservoir, which restricts the soil from erosion and also traps the particles to enter into reservoir. So vegetation traps large amount of sediments, which reduces the entry of silt in reservoir. So whatever the vegetation screen is provided, that traps the large amount of sediments and helps to increase the life of dam. Again, construction of under sluices in the dam. In this, the dam is provided with the openings. So these openings are under sluices in its base. So these openings are provided to remove the more silted water on the downstream side. So the main purpose of this under sluices is to remove the more silted water on the downstream side. Next point is of the construction of check dams. So in this, the small bunds are only known as check dams. So they are constructed along the tributaries, which contributes the major sediment load, arrest partially silt particles. This also arrests partially the silt particles, and the sediment inflow can be controlled by this construction of the small bunds. We can say check dams across the river, contributing major sediment load and trap the large amount of coarser sediment. Next method is post constructing methods. So what is included in post constructing method? First is removal of post flood water, then dredging, mechanical stirring and soil conservation method. Now we will see one by one. So in dredging, first we will see of removal of post flood. So in removal of post flood, the sediment content increases just after the flood. So whenever the flood is there, so after that there is a increase in the content of the sediment. So therefore the attempts are generally made not to collect this water, which reduces the sediment load on reservoir. Mechanical stirring of the sediment. Next point, the deposited silt is scored and distributed by mechanical means so as to keep it in a moving state. So in this method, the silt is kept in disturbed condition by mechanical means and it is pushed through sluices, and thus soil particles passes towards the downstream side. So as to keep it in a moving state, so thus help in pushing it towards the sluices. Next is your erosion control and soil conservation. So in order to prevent the deposition of the silt, soil conservation methods are adopted. So these conservation methods are adopted on the upstream side of the reservoir. So what are these methods? Such as excavation of ditches, then crop rotation, etc. These are adopted. So these are adopted generally on the upstream side of the reservoir. So these include all those general methods which are adopted to reduce the soil erosion, because when the soil erosion is reduced, automatically the sedimentation problem is also reduced. So next is the control levels of dams. So this diagram shows us the different control levels in the dam, that are TBL, HFL, FTL, DSL. So we will see one by one control level in dam. So first is your TBL, that is top bund level. This is reduced level of dam top, which depends on the capacity, then storage, flood lift and freeboard. So the height of the dam at any section is the difference between TBL and GL. So whatever is the height of the dam, that is the difference between the top bund level and the ground level. Next is high flood level, that is HFL. So it is the maximum reduced level up to which the water can rise in the reservoir. Then full tank level, that is FTL. Water in the reservoir is stored up to a level known as FTL, or we can say FRL, full reservoir level, or we can say it as full tank level. So whatever the water is stored up to level, so that level is known as the full tank level. Usually the crest of the spillway is kept at this level. Lowest water level, that is LWL. So it is the lowest reduced level of the water surface in the reservoir. If water goes below LWL, that is your lowest water level. If the water goes below this level, then the water cannot be drawn out of the reservoir. So dead storage. Next is dead storage. What is dead storage? The storage below the lowest sill level. Now previously we saw about the lowest water level. So whatever the level is below this, that is the storage below the lowest sill level, which cannot be used. Okay, whatever water is that cannot be used. So that is known as your dead storage. So LSL, lowest sill level, is a upstream sill level is kept 50 centimeter to 100 centimeter below LWL, that is your lowest water level. So this is generally equal to the volume of silt. Next is live storage. Live storage, this is the storage between lowest water level LWL and full tank level FTL is called as live storage. So we can write it as live storage is equals to irrigation requirement plus tank losses. Gross storage, so it is the storage at FTL, full tank level in the reservoir. So gross storage can be written as gross storage is equals to dead storage plus live storage. Next we will see the definition of freeboard. What is freeboard? It is the vertical distance between the TBL and HFL. It is the clear margin kept as a measure of safety so that waveform should not cross dam. Last point is of parent stream. Parent stream, it is the river across which the dam is constructed. Now we will see about fixing the control levels. So the procedure for fixing the control levels of the reservoir is called water planning, and data required for this is as follows. So let us see what type of data is required for this. So the catchment area, we need a catchment area, that too in kilometer square, and its classification and also the rainfall data. Next we need the command area, also we need the proposed crop pattern, delta or duty, losses, whatever the infiltration losses and other losses, and intensity of irrigation. So these all things are needed. Next, area capacity curve. So we are going to see the area capacity curve in more detail in next lecture. So area capacity curve is also required. The rate of silting, life of reservoir, L section, and the rate of tank losses. Now let us see the procedure. So yield is determined from catchment area and rainfall data, which gives the dependable yield. Next, crop water requirement. Find out crop water requirement per month, per season, per year from gross command area for respective projects. So that is the projects like large, small, medium, etc. While finding out the crop water requirement, transit losses are included at the head of the canal. Next is fixing the LWL, that is low water level. How to fix the low water level? So the dead storage is decided depending upon the quantity of the silt coming through runoff. So whatever the quantity of the silt that is coming through runoff, so depending upon that your dead storage is firstly decided, then its size, its shapes and type of soil, shape of catchment. So the life of reservoir is considered to be equal to the number of years required to fill up the reservoir by silt up to LSL, that is your low supply level. So these years are generally taken as 100 years. It is fixed as the highest of below. So reduce level corresponding to silt storage capacity. So silt capacity can be calculated like silt capacity is equal to rate of silting into catchment area, that is calculated in kilometer square, into life in years. Then reduce level of the sill of sluice at under section calculated from tail end of distribution system. Reduce level of corresponding to 10% of gross storage. Next is how to fix the full tank level, that is FTL. So for fixing the full tank level, annual demand and available yield is calculated firstly, and compared the lesser of 2 is adopted as value of gross storage, and from this FTL is obtained. So the various control levels of reservoir are fixed as follows. So to fix the LSL, LWL, DSL, it is the highest of the following. So among these, the highest value is the final value. So reduced level corresponding to silt storage capacity, it is calculated by rate of silting multiplied by catchment area into life of dam. So rate of silting is 200 to 500 meter cube per kilometer square per year. Second is reduce level corresponding to 10% of gross storage or crop water requirement. Next is reduce level of bed of canal at head plus full supply depth of canal. Next point is of fixing of high flood level, full reservoir level and top burn level. FRL is fixed at gross storage. The gross storage is taken as lesser of demand and supply. So, how to calculate HFL? HFL is equals to FRL plus flood lift. H is assumed between 2 to 3 meter. Top burn level is equal to high flood level plus free board. Free board is assumed depending upon the height of dam. So, firstly we have to calculate in this HFL. So, HFL can be calculated by summation of FRL plus flood lift. After calculating HFL, we have to assume H as 2 to 3 meter. So, after assuming H, then we can calculate TBL. Then TBL can be calculated by HFL plus TBL is equal to HFL plus freeboard. So, freeboard is assumed depending upon the height of the dam. Thank you.